Everybody, this is Harmony with Harmony Stitches and welcome to my channel. Here we usually talk about my crafting journey, which is cross stitch, knitting, and crochet. And I have a bit to show you. Okay, so it's been, a month, I think. I was supposed to film a video when I was at the retreat and I said, oh, if I can remember my stuff. Well, as I'm packing up my stuff, I realized that I had enough to take with me already, just with my, my clothes and things like that, and then my cross stitch, and I just didn't really have the room to take my tripod or anything like that. So I did not film. And then last week was Easter, and I did not have time to film that day either because, it was Easter. And so my mother-in-law came over and we had some ham and stuff and we had to clean up a little bit. So there was just not any time. And I'm sure that you all can relate that sometimes you just can't fit one more thing in. So here we are today. Let's start with knitting. We're going to go ahead and jump into things, and then I have some purchases and things from the retreat. So let's start with the knitting. The only thing that I was knitting on is the Musselburg hat that I have as for my work project. It's using the Quirky sock from Simply Socks Yarn Company. It's color QS1107. And it's kind of like a muted rainbow. And this is where I am at. I've got quite a bit done. This stitch marker here marks 12 inches. And it just tells me where I'm at in the pattern, so that way I don't have to measure every, 5 rows, being anxious and being like, okay, where am I now? Where am I now? So I marked it at 12, and then this stitch marker marks what I've done today. So I rode on the van with my husband to go pick up the people that need a ride. And so I was able to get some more knitting time in. So I've done all that today. And I'm almost there. And then I will start the decreases and get this one done and start my next at work project, which we'll talk about, I think. We'll either talk about it now or we'll talk about it when we get there. But anywho. So then we're going to back up to the retreat. I can't remember, I put everything in my bag as I work on it to talk to you about. And the only things that I have are the retreat pieces. So I don't really remember. Oh, what was happening before then is the crochet things that the next work project. So that's why I don't have anything. The retreat was on March 22nd, and I had only cross-stitched for one day already that month, and that was March 1st. So I don't really have a lot of things to show you before the retreat, except for the crochet I was working on. And of course, I was silly and forgot to take a picture of any of it. However, that's why I said we'll talk about it when we get there. But so just know that there's a project that I was working on, and then I got an order for some. So I will be working on that item again. So that's why I was like, oh, I'll talk to you about it later. So we'll talk about that more in depth later. It was a crochet project that I will get back to. So my goal at the retreat was to work on my Super Mario Brothers 3 World 1 map, which is called Grasslands. And I needed 1,861 stitches to match my monthly goal, so I can get this done by the end of this calendar year. So let me show you. I do not have a before picture, but I will try to show you what I worked on. I think I got just over the number of stitches that I needed at the retreat, okay? So let's see. I filled in the background, which is the sand, on these 3 rows. Not all of it, but most of it. The dark color. And then I started filling in all of these cactuses here. And then I started filling in these 3 level points. Or chips. Level chips, or whatever we want to call them. So I've just been slowly but surely filling in the background. This is the top here. 1 row above the cactus is the top. So I'm getting there, and I'm officially over 50% done. With this marks 50% done. And I'm really liking it. So when I'm stitching on it, I'm noticing that some of my stitches aren't the greatest, and I don't really know why. If they're really bad, I'll rip it out, put it back in, and it's still not the greatest. But when you hold it back, you can't even tell. It just looks like a really, really nice picture. I'm happy with how it's ending up. So I'm really happy. And that means that on my second map, I'm doing World 8 as well. And I was going to try to park and do one color, you know, like do one stitch at a time. And there's 3 colors in the background. I may not do that. If I can keep handle on what I'm doing, I might just do one color at a time like I am on this one. Because you can't really tell when you're looking at it far away that one stitch might be a little bit wonky. So I might continue. And this is on 18 count Aida with the called for DMC colors. And I have zeroed out quite a few colors, and I'm getting close on some more, but until I get to the left half, I won't be zeroing, you know, because like the level chips and things like that. Okay. So what I did at the retreat is I decided that I didn't want to try to stitch all 1,800 stitches all continuously. I figured I would get bored with the project and I would slow down tremendously. So I did 600-ish. I finished out what I was working on, did about 600, and then I switched to one of my Whipco pieces from a couple months ago, and it was supposed to be a finish, and I didn't quite get it finished, but I did. I didn't quite finish it at the retreat, but when I came home, I finished it, and this is Queen Bee, all dolled up by Little House Needleworks. And yeah, I didn't get it done at the retreat because I didn't have the outer white color for the wings, but I did a lot of the rest of it while I was there. A lot of the rest of it, that doesn't make sense. I did most of what was left. Take out the white, and I did almost all of that at the retreat. I finished the little, I don't know what you call it, details at the top. I did some of the bees minus the wings. And then when I got home, I finished the wings on the big bee, on the queen, and then on the flowers and the little bees throughout. So I have another finish. This was stitched on 28 count Monaco that I coffee tea dyed, and then I used, let's see, I think it's the DMC conversion. Oh no, she calls for 4 DMCs, but then 3 classic Colorworks, and I just subbed those out as well. So it is possible to sub out and have it look really cute. So that's done, and all the supplies need to be put away. Do you guys have problems putting away the supplies from your finished projects? Because I sure do. I have a hard time with that. The supplies just sit there and sit there until they pile up, and then it's just like a whole big chore. Okay, so the next one, so that was Friday. I did 600 stitches on the Mario map, and then I worked on Dolled Up, the Queen Bee. And then on Saturday, I did the Mario map, and then I started a new project. And this is from the Superb Owl Stitchin' that Kathy from Hands On Design and Stephanie from Lindy Stitches put together for Super Bowl Sunday. And I did not get to this one yet. I only made a small start on the other one, but this is where I'm at. This is called Love Lavishly. It's a stand-up by Lindy Stitches. And I did get all of the called for colors for these 2 projects. And this is what I got put in after I get the 600 stitches in Super Mario. So that's one evening. Let's see. I got the Mario map done by 4 p.m. When we went to dinner, we came back. I think we got back by 6. So I started this at around 6 p.m. and I went to bed at 11. I was up in my room in bed at 11. So, and that's with talking and everything. We had such a great time. Okay, and then when I came home, I said to myself, okay, you need to get working on some of the other Whipco things that were called and you haven't yet to do. I haven't done them yet. Words. I'm having trouble with proper word structure or sentence structure. So this is Vintage Animals by Jeanette Douglas. I believe this was called in March as well. And I wanted to get working on this. I figure I'm about 50% or maybe 60% done with this one. Let me show you. This is stitched on 28 count Dove Gray Monaco with the DMC conversions here or there. I'm not really subbing any out, but if she calls for a blend, I'm only choosing one color from that blend and going with that instead. Okay, so let me show you what I've got done. All of the alphabet that is here was already done. I did do this leaf. It has 3 colors in it, the leaf. And I put in this hedgehog. He's super cute. There are, I think, 2 colors in the body, and then you've got 2 for the head. So I did that. I actually found a green color that I had been missing because the conversion, it was exactly the same color as one of the other greens, so that wouldn't do. So I looked at the picture, and I don't know if you can see it, but on the flowers here, see the lighter green for the leaves? I needed a lighter green. So I looked at the color card, the DMC color card, and I looked for a green that was in the same color family, or it was in the same column on the DMC color card, and I went in my stash to see if I had it, and I did. So I was able to get, I only had 2 of the flowers done, so the other 2 are complete add-ons, and they're complete. They are completely done. The insides, the stems, the leaves, everything is complete. So I got those 4. I finished the raccoon, and I finished the detailing on this fox. I put in this foliage and the deer on the left. So I did a lot of little things on this. I did have a goal of getting everything from one point down done, and I didn't get 2 things. A little tiny fox and then a Quaker star. So I wanted to get a little bit more done, but I did. Oh, you know, the other thing that I got done is all the grass down here. There was 2 more colors in the grass that I didn't have done before, and that took me a while just because I had to be very careful so I could fill that grass in. I got a lot done. So I think next time, see this row of Quaker flower things? I wanted to do that Quaker star and this little guy here, but I didn't get to them, and I just moved on. But that's all I have left. And the alphabet, which one? The large alphabet with the capital letters is over 50% done. And then the small alphabet with the tiny letters, it's almost 50% done. So I don't have that much left. And I think if I worked on this 2 more times, I could have this as a finish. But that's not my goal. What my goal was for WhipGo. It was just to work on it for a week. And I didn't even work on it for a week. I only worked on it for like 2 days. But I had 2 days off. I can't remember why I had 2 straight days off, but I didn't have to go anywhere. So I got a lot done on that. So I'm hoping for some more days, maybe this summer, to work on this. We'll see. Because I want to keep up on my other WhipGo plans too, all of my other goals. And I am still a little bit behind from not doing really any stitching in March. So we'll see how it goes. But that's all I stitched on that I can show you. I am stitching on 2 other projects. One is actually completed. It took me just under a week to finish. And then I started the next one, and those are the first 2 projects that I will be releasing through my design company. And I'm so excited. And there will be more about that later, but I just want you to know that changes are coming. Additions are coming, and I'm super excited, and I hope that you're excited along with me because I've been working really hard. So yeah, we'll talk more about that later as things come out, but I'm almost ready. As soon as I get the stitching done, then I have to design like the chart layouts and things like that, and get them printed so that way I can share them with you all. So stay tuned, because it's coming. And that's another reason why it's been hard to come back to, because I've been working really hard on some things on the side. So I can't really design and stitch at the same time. But I'm doing my best because I only have 2 hands. Okay, so last weekend, my husband, last weekend, my husband and I went to a couple thrifts. Well, we went to a thrift store, like a consignment, like people donate their things and then they sell it for charity, kind of one of those places. And then we went to an antiques warehouse. Well, that's what it's called in Saginaw, Antiques Warehouse. And I found, at the first place, the thrift store, I found 2 Prairie Schoolers. It's book 1 and book 2. Now, I don't necessarily like these 2 charts, but I did buy them because one of my friends from the retreat loves Prairie Schooler just as much as I do, and she's on the hunt to have all of the original cardstock. And they were at such a great deal that I didn't want to pass them by. She actually already has them, so I will hang on to these for a while. There is a little bit of damage. I noticed that like book 2 and book 1 were stacked together and there was some water damage, and this was already done by the time I purchased them. So the back of book 1 is stuck to the book 2, to the front of book 2. But for the price that I paid for them, I am good with it, and then those will make somebody else happy when the time comes. So then, okay, so I found this one, Adam Names the Creatures, on one of the destashing groups, and it's not exactly my style either, just because, I don't know, Adam and Eve. But I guess if you think about it, and Adam and Eve were the first 2 people on the planet, and they were probably awkward anyways, but I mean, it's probably a lot easier to design and stitch like a lady wearing a dress or a man with pants and coats, a coat. But here you're like stitching their arms and their I don't know. Anytime that I see Adam and Eve on a cross stitch pattern, I just think they look really awkward. But other than that, I do really like this chart, and I have been on the hunt for this for a while, and it's the original cardstock. She put it in a sleeve. I don't know if she put it in the sleeve just to ship it, or if this is how she stores them at home, but it's impeccable. Like, it looks as though it's never even been opened. It's just in really, really great shape, and this is book 31, so it's an older chart, and I'm super excited to have that. So then, when we were at the retreat, we have a freebie table. So you get to bring all the charts that you no longer want and put them on the freebie table, and it's free for all. And you're kind, and you are respectful, and you don't hurt people. Well, my friend that likes Prairie Schooler found a Prairie Schooler, and I was hoping that she didn't have it already, but she didn't. But then we got talking, and she said that she would send it to me. And then we got talking even more, and she was going to send me the list of all the duplicates that she had, because of course when you're trying to collect like that and sometimes you don't remember, you get duplicates. So I have 10 new Prairie Schoolers for my collection, and I can't see the fronts. So what is this? Harvest Time. This is the one that she found at the retreat that I wanted, and then she shared with me her copy, and this is a reprint, so it's on the paper. Christmas Strawberries, original cardstock. So excited. Book 101. That was book 93 for Harvest Time. Book 123, Country Seasons. I told my husband I wasn't exactly sure why I wanted this one. But man, I just like it. I don't know. Winter is really cute with the, can you see winter there with the trees and the reindeer and the house in the back? Is it a house or a school? It's a salt box house. But then autumn with the turkey. Oh, I love Prairie Schooler, guys. Okay, Autumn Leaves is book 132. And Pumpkin Patch is book 140. And you know I love the Prairie School Halloweens. Heads Up. Book 181. Book 188 is Trick or Treat. I did check in all my stash too, and I didn't find any of these. Halloweenies is book 214. which, mind you, 210 through 214 aren't even listed on the website. So I don't know why that is, but it's not even listed on the website as inventory. And then book 66, autumn samplers. Now, samplers aren't necessarily my thing either, but I do like this Thanksgiving, and I do like the cornucopia. But then I also like all of the different leaves and the animals in this one. Well, animals, it's just some squirrels chasing each other. Some squirrels. So I was super happy to get those. But on the freebie table, so those were from my friend from the retreat. On the freebie table, I got this Sunflower Cottage by Forever in My Heart. And it just looks like something that would go in my kitchen with all of the bee stuff. The bee skeps and the honeycombs and the little bees. And so I got this one. I hope you can see that well. The picture's kind of faded probably from its age, but it looks like it's kind of the way that it was taken. It's really muted. It does use overdyed floss actually, so we'll see what those look like or if I'll just use a DMC conversion. And then I got Plant Kindness, Reap Love by Lizzie Kate. And of course it has a bee skep. So I thought this would look really good in the kitchen. I'm going to run out of space in my kitchen eventually, I believe, but maybe it can spill out into the dining room. And then I got Simply Elegant Heart Tin. I don't even know who this is by. But I got this one because of this heart-shaped Altoid tin. I just couldn't even help myself. I don't want to stitch the project because that is too dainty and elegant for my style. But I'm thinking maybe I can find something to, you know, kind of finish it on the Altoid tin like this design is. But seriously, I have no idea who this is by. It just says Simply Elegant Heart Tin. Oh, it's behind where the Altoid tin is. That's why I can't see it. Lori Birmingham. And then I was showing my husband this one. These are still all sealed up, and I'm sure that they are very outdated by now. It has a code. If you've ever worked in grocery store retail, you'll know that sometimes the companies will put a code on it, and so you have no idea what that means. I was just talking to my husband about how excited I was to get this, and he looked it up on eBay, and they're listed on eBay for anywhere from $25 to like $125. And I'm not going to sell it because I like it. I just don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it just yet. And another thing that was on the freebie table, this is one of my favorite things. It's one of these little tiny craft 31 bags. I don't know why. I just turned around and it was at we actually had 3 freebie tables, by the way. And the one was right behind where I was sitting. And I turned around and I saw it there. And I'm like, wait, that's on the freebie table? And someone said, yeah, that's on the freebie table. This is one of my favorite bags. Look, where is it? All of my stuff is sitting on it. It's what I have my knitting in for my at work project. I think there's another one sitting up here on my organizer. And then there's another one in the cabinet. I love these bags because they have all of these. I don't think that 31 has this bag anymore either. So this is like a big scoop. They have all these little pockets for you to put your craft stuff in while you're crafting. And it's perfect for a pair of socks or this hat project or something like that. So I was beyond excited, everybody. I was beyond excited to get that. And then some of the ladies were, I don't know if this is in your way. Let me put this down because it's going to fall. Okay. So some of the ladies had made project bags that they were selling. And I love project bags. And it was bees. And it's super cute. And it has a handle, which I love the handles on it because sometimes you just can't carry everything in your fingers. And you just loop it over your arm and you can carry more, right? So she used a couple of different fabrics on this one. She used 4. Yeah, the backing fabric is 1. The little beads on the inside is 2. The fabric down here and for the handle is 3. And then she used this one here is 4. And I think they all go well together. And it's got some stabilizer in it, and it's quilted, and it has the vinyl. It's really nice. And I did buy one more bag from them too. It was like a little notions bag, but I forgot that downstairs. If I remember to show you next time. It's just a cute little canvas bag, and then they put some vinyl decals on it to commemorate the weekend. Okay, that is all that I have to share with you about my purchases, my freebies, and my crafting for the last month. The retreat, though, that I'm hosting and organizing is coming along. We have room for several more stitchers, so if you haven't put in your registration yet, I highly recommend you do so. The final payment is due, well, if you make you can make a down payment if you want, but then the final payment is due by April 29th. So I will have to confirm that, and I will come back before April 29th to let everyone know the status of that. I will double check with the retreat center. I do know that if we don't have a minimum amount of people, then they will put others in our space with us, which I think is fine, because then we just meet new friends. But if we don't want that, then we have to fill the space up. So we have plenty of room for everybody. So I would suggest and request that even if you cannot come to the retreat, maybe you share my posts or email me, and I'll give you the registration packet, so that way you can share it on with your friends, because I know that not everybody watches my small channel here, and not everybody knows about the retreat, and everybody likes something different, watches something different, and different social media. So if you know people that live in Michigan or would be traveling or would like to travel to Michigan for the retreat, let me know, and I can get you the registration packet so you can forward that on. Like I said, if you were planning on coming and you haven't put your registration in yet, I highly recommend that you do that soon, so that way we have enough space for everybody. I think that's all that I have to talk about today. Like I said, my design business is coming along. I filed a lot of the paperwork that I need to file. I think I might be done, or I might have to do one more thing. I have to open my bank account, and then I have to finish stitching, get them framed, get them photographed, all the things, so that way they're ready to share with you all. And so I hope that you stick around with me. And I do know that not everybody wants to talk about shop update. So when I do talk about that, I will leave a break. I will put a graphic up that says shop update. So that way, if you want to duck out and go watch a different video, then you can do so, and you won't be missing any of the content that you came to watch. So I just appreciate everyone who watches, likes, comments, and subscribes to my channel here. It does mean a lot to me, because then I know that you all are watching and you want me to keep going. And I'm just super excited to see what the future holds, and to share my thoughts and ideas with you in the future months. So I hope that you saw something to inspire you to pick up a languishing whip, or maybe even to try something new. And until I see you again, have a great day. Bye.